People have been up in arms about whether atheism is just a lack of belief in God or gods, or a positive affirmation of a belief that God or gods do not exist. The controversy has been intense from both sides, with people almost giving themselves aneurysms trying to explain why they believe their side is correct. The issue is not so much which side is correct, but what is more logically consistent and is in accordance with modern definitions, usage, and general parlance. For the purpose of this video, I will not delve much into definitional argumentation, but will focus more on logical reasoning, and will be using God to also include gods. I also will be focusing on a strictly doxastic argumentation for propositions, and not an epistemic argument or assertion of the propositions being knowledge claims. What is a lacktheist? The great debate question is, what is your position on the question, does God exist? While the actual ontology of God's existence is dichotomous, meaning God either does or does not exist, positions on the question can be quite varied. The question being proposed is asking about one's belief, or how they evaluate the proposition, not about the certainty of the existence or non-existence of God. But how we actually answer the proposition need not be a binary yes or no. An affirmative yes equals theism. An affirmative no equals atheism. But you also have undecided equals agnostic. Doesn't care equals apatheist. Proposition is nonsensical, ichtheist, or theological non-cognitivist. None of them affirming yes or no. If I respond to the proposition, I am undecided about what to believe about God's existence, I am not making an affirmation either way of yes or no to the proposition. Lacktheism means the same as non-theist, or anyone who is not a theist. P equals theist, P or not P, theist or non-theist. Lacktheist describes anyone who has a lack of belief in God, but sometimes also as someone who uses just a lack of belief in God to describe their atheism. But the proposition being asked is not if one is a theist or a non-theist, but asking for a response to the question, does God exist? The question, does God exist, is asking you what you do believe, not what you don't believe. Responding that you lack a belief isn't telling anyone what you do believe. I do believe God does exist equals theist. I do believe God does not exist equals atheist. Remember, atheism is the rejection of the proposition, does God exist, which is the assertion of not P. P equals God does exist, not P equals God does not exist. The argument against why just saying lacktheism or a lack of belief is atheism. Recall that anyone who is a not atheist is a non-theist or non-believer, which includes agnostics, ichtheists, apatheist, naturalistic pantheist, etc. So what are the theist and atheist responses to the proposition, does God exist? Yes equals theist, God does exist. No equals atheist, God does not exist. Any other response or non-response is a non-theist, but one cannot just arbitrarily group them into saying they are affirmatively answering yes or no. Think of it as likes and dislikes on a video. Thumbs up equals like, thumbs down equals not like. But not everyone who viewed the video may respond. They may not even know if they liked it or not. They may be undecided, and you cannot just say they did not like it. You can only say that they did not click like for whatever reason. And if they did not click like, they fall into not like, not dislike. Similarly, if one pleads the fifth when asked a question in court, is this construed as a no answer? Of course not, as that would defeat the entire purpose of pleading the fifth. Let's examine what it actually means to reject the proposition, God exists, or to answer the question, does God exist, with a no. If you ask someone their belief on the existence of God, or does God exist, P equals I believe God does exist, not P equals I believe God does not exist. Notice the position of the negation. Both are positive statements of one's belief toward the existence of God, not if they do or do not believe in God. They are statements directly about his existence or non-existence. To borrow from my friend Uriah Christensen, a theist holds the proposition, I do believe a God does exist. An atheist holds the proposition, I do believe a God does not exist. A non-theist holds the proposition, I do not believe a God does exist. When an atheist just says that they lack a belief, they are actually saying they are a non-theist, rather than holding to the proposition that they do believe God does not exist. Both atheists and theists are promoting their actual beliefs on the existence of God, and are positively asserting that they believe either God exists or that he does not exist, P or not P. If we were to break this down into predicate form, I equals I, B equals do believe, G equals a God, D equals does exist, theist, BI equals DG, non-theist, not BI equals DG, atheist, BI equals not DG. In both cases, the theist and the atheist position, BI, is a positive assertion. The theist is asserting that BI is true, and the atheist is asserting that BI is not true, or the negation of DG. This is the same as in court. If you do not answer a lawyer's question, you are not assumed to be taking any position or asserting a no response. It is never acceptable if someone doesn't say that they do not accept the true position, to say that they automatically accept the not true position, as if they simply may not have an answer. Regardless if someone insists that they only lack a belief in God or are asserting that God does not exist, it is still important to understand the logical reasoning behind each position. I am not suggesting just claiming a lack of belief makes anyone less of an atheist if they refer to themselves as an atheist, nor am I committing the no true Scotsman fallacy by trying to say what is or is not a true atheist. This is not some great rift between two distinct camps of atheism. I, and many others, am merely demonstrating that atheists who claim only a lack of belief are technically just saying they are a non-theist. Thank you for watching my presentation. Please like and subscribe if you like this video.